In 2026, more families than ever are asking one question. Do we stay in a subdivision or do we step into self-sufficiency? Today, we're going to talk honestly about homesteads versus subdivision living in 2026 because I've been in both, folks. Not emotionally and not politically. Guys, we're just talking practically here, okay? Because this isn't about trends. It's about stability. It's about freedom. It's about resilience. And for us at DiamondTrail Ranch, it's about faith and stewardship. Let's get into it. Well, what does subdivision living offer? Let's be fair. Subdivision life offers convenience, municipal utilities, your close grocery stores, although we have those here too. Emergency services, we have those too. HOA structure, if that's your thing. Your walkable neighborhoods. We have our trail right over there. Schools and community proximity. Again, we have that. For many families, they get that security. Honestly, for some seasons of life, that makes sense. I get it. I see some, you've seen those homes that are way, 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 way out there. And it's like, Lord, how in the world do they make it to the nearest Walmart or grocery store or any of that? I mean, it's just, is it resilient in subdivision living in 2026 when you see things like your supply chain fluctuations, your rising insurance costs, your energy volatility, your water restrictions, the insane amount of HOA enforcement lately? I mean, they basically have the title to your house if you just mow the grass incorrectly. The fuel price swings, growing food costs in general. Subdivision life is built on systems already working. And if the systems work, life's comfortable. If the systems get that hiccup, things get tight real quick. Now, let's look at the alternative. Again, we've been in subdivisions for many years. Let's look at the homestead life. It's not about isolation. It's about redundancy, right? You're getting that redundancy in your food, your water, your energy, your skills, your community, and your faith. I've noticed a huge difference in faith in the homestead rural community. Subdivision home is going to depend on them grocery trucks and power grids, city water, that sewage, large-scale ag, right? Agriculture. Homestead's working to produce some of its own needs. Not all. Not everything. But enough to create some margin. And margin gives you a little bit of a sense of peace. Subdivisions, you rely full on stores completely. And if the eggs double in price, you're paying it. Produce shelves, they're getting kind of thin. You adapt, right? Homestead, you may have, your chickens, your garden beds, your fruit trees. You might have some meat in the freezer. Might have quite a bit of meat in the freezer. Got your pantry systems. Did you can? We have tons of canned stuff. You're not panic buying, you're harvesting. In 2026, food prices continue to fluctuate. But when you grow even 10, up to 20% of your food, your stress is dropping dramatically. I love that redundancy. It's not because you're afraid, you're just simply prepared, that's all. Power outage in a subdivision, probably not going to have air conditioning unless you got a generator. Kind of same applies here. Water disruption, bottled water. Fuel shortage. You start dealing with that commuting stress, right? Homestead living, if you've done it correctly. Hey, we don't have it all there. Solar supplements, we don't have. But you can, it's easy. Rainwater capture, easy. Your wood heat, easy. Gravity fed systems, easy. Backup generators, Even basic preparedness reduces that vulnerability. You don't need to go off grid. I can't stress that enough in every single video I make. You don't have to go off grid. Yeah, it's cool. I see a lot of people on YouTube going off grid and then they're on grid to make their I'm joking, but you know what I'm saying. They're on YouTube talking about how they're off grid. You just need options, and options are freedom. Here's something that's rarely discussed: the emotional and spiritual side of things. Subdivision life often feels fast, just fast in general. You notice weather patterns. You notice soil health. You notice everything. Look around. You look around more. You notice seasons, you notice animals, and you notice God. In 2026, the noise is louder than ever, folks. Economic noise, the political noise, the climate noise, culture noise, the who am I noise, the identity noise. Homesteading quiets it, that noise. It reconnects you to provision. And as a faith-based family homestead, we believe preparedness is not being afraid. Preparation is stewardship. Scripture teaches that a wise person prepares. Joseph stored grain. Proverbs talks about the ants preparing that food in the summer, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. Faith doesn't eliminate responsibility. It strengthens it. It's not always easy, guys. It's never always easy. We're not romanticizing homesteading because it does require that labor, that patience. It requires failure. It requires learning, that financial planning, the long-term thinking, infrastructure costs. How much was your fencing, It's not cheap at first. It's not easier. It is controlled. Subdivision living is efficient. I've heard the back and forth arguments on it, and I get it. I totally get it. Homesteading is resilient. There's a difference. In 26, we're seeing things like, man, the rising urban density is just out of control right now. Smaller lot sizes, HOA restrictions are tightening, and increased property taxes in the metro zones. I mean, good grief. Small acreage, even 1 to 3 acres like us, gives you that space for food production, room for livestock, compost systems, wood piles, storage sheds, private well possibilities. Land gives you that flexibility, and there's nothing better. I'm telling you, flexibility equals that long-term stability. Safety depends on your definition as far as which one's safer. If safety means immediate emergency response, your subdivision's probably going to win. That's not always the case, because we have some newer subdivisions out here in Central Florida, out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm like, why did you choose to live? You can reach into your neighbor's window, but you're out in the middle of nowhere. I never understood that. Food independence, homesteads win, obviously. I mean, self-reliance during your disruption, homestead wins. If safety means you're close neighbors within walking distance, you could roll over in your bed and you're in your neighbor's house. Subdivision wins. There's no perfect system, but in 2026, resilience is rising in value. And I joke, like I said, I've lived in subdivisions for many, many years of my life, so I can see the argument for them. The biggest takeaway is you don't have to pick an extreme. This isn't binary by any means. You can start gardening in a subdivision, absolutely, okay? You can raise backyard chickens where it's legal, even in your subdivisions. We've actually picked up goats before out of subdivisions, so you can store food. You can install your rain barrels. Of course, know your laws. I know some entire states strictly prohibit that, which is wild to me, but you can still learn your preservation skills. Homesteading is a mindset before it's land size. It's about reclaiming in general. Responsibility, the connection. As believers, we do not prepare out of fear. We prepare because we are called to steward. We trust God, we work diligently, and we remain calm. Faith anchors us, preparation strengthens us. If this video encouraged you, we talk about homestead resilience, faith-centered living, practical preparedness, real food production, calm response to current events. We got ducks, goats, chickens, horses, you name it, guys.